are they going to still
always
keep...
have, though. Even in the comic books, they have.
Yeah.
Are they
Hold on. Slow roll.
Are they keeping the same...
When you're a child, DC is fine.
No, have you read any of the new DC stuff? It is not for children.
Listen, it may have switched, but you know, in the heyday, like I started off, man, who doesn't love Batman and Superman as a kid?
Totally,
You know, but when I started reading comic books, like actually reading them, not just looking at them a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was all about the Marvel. Marvel had much better storylines and way better. The characters, the powers that they gave the characters were more intense. And the way they blended, the way they're blending the universe now in the movies is what the comic books did too. Way better than DC ever did. Way better.
I think we're fundamentally on different sides on this one. I'm a staunch DC fan.
Where are you at, Steph? Because you've been on both sides of that. I think you switch.
You know what? I think Marvel does have better team-ups. Whereas DC has better interpersonal
arcs,
distress, and it's always like a distress for DC, but it makes the character so much more defined, and you actually appreciate each character more.
DC focuses more on the internal struggle of the character, as opposed to Marvel focuses on the outer world accepting that character. Like most of Marvel, it's a lot of it is like them kind of wanting to stay human. They don't really want to accept their hero side, whereas DC, it's the opposite, where a lot of them want to live as their hero rather than be their own human side.
As a guy that's, like I said, I'm 49, I'm going to be 50 in a little over a month, and El de los Muertos, if I can say. And I can picture right now being an 8-9-year-old kid and actually loving Shazam. You know, and I was so excited when they're coming out with the Shazam movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Zachary
but
Levi,
I saw that.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, Zachary Levi.
That's gonna look.
Who I loved in Chuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, I love that show. I love that show.
He's a good actor. I like him.
But I don't know if I'm sold on what the direction they're taking it. They've made it a little campy.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Ant-Man has some campiness to it, but it's humor. It's not campy. I think it's a little bit more humor than. And I feel as though Shazam's going to be kind of a campy, made up. Even his costume looks kind of overly done.
Yeah, it's like fake muscles.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It looks like a throwback to something Tim Burton would have done.
Like the Tick, like Tim. What's his name?
I haven't seen the new show.
The old one.
Oh,
the old one.
Yeah.
The original live
Patrick
action.
Warburton.
Patrick Warburton as the Tick. He had that kind of suit. That was campy as all fuck.
And Manuel.
Yeah, and so I'm kind of worried, you know, because of the continuity, like because I've actually enjoyed the last few DC movies. I've actually, and I'm looking forward to Aquaman quite a bit. You know, I want to see what they do with that because it's all underwater, and I want to see some of the stuff that they do with it.
Yeah.
You know, the technology's come so far. I mean, like way better than what we used to have in the Matrix. You know, everybody was blown away with the Matrix. Of course, we were blown away with Star Wars, and you go back as an adult and you watch it like, you know, but. I can still watch it through child's eyes and be enamored with it, but you know, I feel like it's a step backwards. I feel like Shazam's going to be a step backwards for the DC brand in terms of movies. It might stand alone.
More so than the last movie that we
listen. I'm not saying that it won't be successful. You know, because it'll
make money.
That's
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it won't be successful, but it doesn't feel as though it feels like it's something unto itself. It's not a character that could just blend right in with the rest of the DC
Didn't
superheroes.
I hear that Superman was going to make some kind of appearance on it?
I heard something about
that.
But you heard they just fired.
I have no idea.
They're supposed fired Henry Cavill.
We discussed that on one of the last podcasts.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm fucking late to the game.
No, you're fine. You're fine. That was debunked.
How do I fucking?
It was debunked.
It was
Yeah,
debunked. He didn't get fired by Warner.
Well, he just put out a weird little video.
Yeah.
Well, I heard it's not really that he fired, that it's more about pay.
Yes, it's very much about contract negotiation and availability.
But it may go away because he was supposed to have 2 standalones after the last Man of Steel.
Yeah, but they don't have anything.
There's also
ready for him
scheduling
to.
conflict with his next project.
Yeah,
So
and they say his next project is going to be huge.
Well,
like,
the next one's going to be The
Witcher.
Witcher, and then they're saying that he may even get tapped to take over for James Bond.
I heard about that. I think he would make an excellent James Bond.
I've enjoyed the current version of James Bond.
Daniel
Craig.
Craig.
I've really enjoyed that.
He's not bad.
He's a little short, but
Yeah, well, I mean,
no offense, Josh.
Oh no,
sorry about that.
That's fine, man. That's fine.
No, on the microphone, we're all the same height. Don't worry about it. We're all the same.
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Hey, for this Marvel Network, are they using the same actors?
Yes. So it'll still be the same actors, Tom Hiddleston and Elizabeth Olsen.
So they get a 1099 and a W-2?
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. These guys are sold.
Are they taking the Marvel comic series like Daredevil, Punisher from Netflix and transferring it over to their own network?
From what I understand, they're going to pull them, but they're no longer going to have the Defenders anymore. They've cut the Defenders altogether.
Are they really?
Yeah. So it's only going to be the separate. They said that
it didn't work out.
Yeah, it didn't work out the way they wanted to, in the direction they wanted to do it.
I don't like the direction they took Luke Cage. I didn't like that last thing. He took over as a bad guy, kingpin kind of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't really care for that because he was so much about being better.
Yeah,
and then he sold out.
I'm behind on the Netflix series.
Sorry, I watched all of them.
Yeah, I haven't seen. The last I saw was the Defenders. Then I haven't seen Jessica Jones 3 or 2.
Oh, Jessica! I love Jessica Jones.
Or even I haven't even seen Punisher. I haven't seen Punisher either.
You haven't seen Punisher either?
Nah, I don't.
You gotta binge all that stuff.
Daredevil. You were watching
Daredevil? Yeah, I watched all the Daredevil.
I just finished last week Iron Fist 2.
Oh, okay.
And it was I hated this first season.
Oh, it's better than the first season?
I watched it.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Yeah, I did too.
Because, again, childhood eyes. I remember Iron Fist. I have Iron Fist comic books from way back when.
Yeah.
And I think Danny Rand's a little bit of a whiny little bitch.
In the first season?
In the first season,
sure.
whatever. And it was going, and I really liked the direction this was going.
Uh-huh.
And I actually sent a text to Blaine, who was my partner at Chaotic Radio. Mm-hmm. I was pissed with the direction that they were, because I was in like episode 9 or 10, and I could see where it was going, and at least I thought I saw where it was going, and they redeemed the last episode, redeemed itself. I was kind of pissed. I feel like they were selling out the character.
It was too much build up and too much.
Well, I don't want to, because if somebody that hasn't seen it, I don't want to ruin it. You know,
I saw the first season.
But it was taking a direction for a moment that wasn't being true. I thought it was like they were going to give it away to. I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, but anyways, I felt at the end, the last episode, I was like, yeah, okay, I can't wait for season 3.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was like, it had such a cool last little snippet at the end to get you peaked for the next season.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, because it had a much better storyline than the first one. There was too much. I think it's a problem when you do origin stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
If you're already a fan of the characters and you know a little bit of information,
but you got
it's very hard because you're like, okay, I know that shit. Just tell me the bit. I want a good story. I want to see this shit in action.
Yeah.
But I love the Netflix, but they're going to go away. They're going to pull all of those and put them on the Disney streaming service.
That's super dope.
Yeah.
Well, it isn't. Because I can only afford to pay for so many streaming services, for God's sake.
Yeah, even DC's doing their own streaming service, and that's what we're going to have. DC Network.
Are they going to do that kind of thing too? When they do their DC Network?
Yeah, they already started filming, or they have already released. Actually, I believe in October
12th, they're releasing Titans. The first Titans series.
You can buy the network.
Yeah.
I'm going to raise my hand. I'm a teacher. I raise my hand.
Yeah.
I gotta ask, how do you guys feel about, since we are talking DC versus Marvel?
Okay.
The lack of continuity. Like there's a Flash character on TV who is not played by the Flash in the movies.
Oh, it's it's upsetting.
I'm fine with it.
Because I like the way that Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. correlates directly, and they've brought in some people from the movies into and it flows both directions.
Right.
Yeah. I really like that because it's just like it makes it seem like it's on a much grander scale that way.
I wasn't a fan of Ezra Miller myself.
Yeah, I wasn't
as the Flash. I didn't. They made him. I mean, the guy's supposed to be a really intelligent, smart guy, and they made him kind of look like a doofus.
Well, if you know any really truly smart people that maybe have Asperger's, they are socially inept.
But is that the way he was in the comics?
No, yeah, Barry Allen was a nerd.
Yeah,
he's a nerd.
But is he like that? Like an Ezra Miller type
well, Ezra
nerd?
Miller kind of overacted a little, I felt, but he's essentially a nerd. Like, because even if you watched the Flash TV show, like Grant Gustin kind of plays like a little nerdy, like awkward guy a little bit, not to the extent Ezra Miller does. Obviously,
are you kidding me? Look at who he's hammering in the show.
Yeah, and I think we just got so used to the Flash TV show, and then when we saw it on the big screen, it's completely different.
It was a cartoon all over again.
Yeah.
I really thought that should have carried over. Because before I realized they weren't going to carry over that, they were taking John's Diggles. They were talking about him becoming the new Green Lantern.
Oh, okay.
Wow. That he was going to leave, and that he was supposed to assume it. So I thought there was going to be the play from the TV series into the movies with him becoming the Green Lantern, or even at least going off and have his own show, like TV series. And when I found that they're not carrying over those characters, I mean.
Then why even bother? Kind of.
Yeah, because you're making me want to get attached to these characters that are the actors that are playing that part, and that's who I want to see is that. I mean, I hate when I understand when there's disputes, like how many different Hulks have we had actors play
quite
the Hulk,
a bit,
right?
Yeah,
and I thought Edward Norton was great though.
I had no quarrels with him being.
And I thought it was a pretty good
wasn't it
movie.
Politics? Didn't he do something to piss somebody off? Or
he
something
wanted
like that?
to have more creativity and director's rights with the character. He wanted to do it his own way. So Marvel was like, no, we needed to go.
And he didn't take off
way.
his Nazi tattoo either from the other movie.
All right, slow down, man. Slow down.
Chill out. He's gonna head stop you.
That's a hell of an accusation.
He's gonna head stop you right now.
You know what? I'll say this, because again, I'm a staunch DC fan. I'm a huge Batman fan. They're fucking up the movies. They are royally. I don't agree with anything they've done besides Wonder Woman. That's the only movie I can agree with right now.
My girlfriend loved those.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Of course, she's a huge feminist.
The TV is the only thing that I think they're doing right with the Legends of Tomorrow,
and the animation,
Arrow, and the animation. Obviously, animation and comics.
Arrow's a little whiny too.
These days,
they're kind of losing the content that they can do with it because there's only so much you can do with Arrow.
Those first 2 seasons of Arrow were
great.
They were so good,
but
well written.
He kowtows to every character in that show now. Mm-hmm. Especially Felicity. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's a whole other issue. Yeah,
but oh, you pussy whip son of a bitch. I mean, no offense, ladies. I don't really mean to be chauvinistic like that, but that. It's like he has no balls.
Yeah, no, it's boring. I don't even want to watch it.
Yeah. I watch it because I'm hoping that it redeems itself. Because I really did enjoy the early seasons. A lot.
No, I mean I'm the same way. If anything, I enjoy the Flash much more. And then
I love the Flash. The Flash is really good. It's really surprised me how good it is.
Yeah, it's done. It's been really well. And then the comics are actually I gotta say that the comics are much better. Than they used to be. I read them all the way from the 70s to now.
I haven't read any
DC
comics in a while.
Yeah, so I mean the stories a little bit got much darker, especially in the 80s and 90s when Robin died, Flash died, Hal Jordan died. Like a lot of the big guys died in the 80s, and that kind of became caused a seismic shift in DC. Like Aquaman ended up losing a hand and being like a bearded surfer dude. We had
I remember that because he put the trident on his hand.
He put the trident directly into his hand as an implant, you know. And then Green Lantern came back. Hal Jordan came back as like an evil guy and was killing people. So it took turns. I mean, the stories. I say the stories again are much better. Like especially in the Flash, his own internal stories, his solo stories are great. Especially when they are involved like Reverse Flash, because Reverse Flash is just hell-bent on making sure that the Flash Barry Allen's life is miserable.
He just ruins his day.
He ruins his day. He killed his mom. He literally went back in time on purpose to kill his mom, just so that way his life turned out a little different, just a little bit, just so he was slightly more miserable.
I still have my giant-sized Superman versus Flash race comic book.
That's
it's like the super tall one.
Yeah,
wow. Like the old Rolling Stone magazines.
And I have Superman and Muhammad Ali, giant comic book, fighting aliens. They had to go up and be representatives to fight each other.
Did they team up with Kiss too? at one point?
I don't remember that
because Kiss teamed up with everybody.
Yeah, I can't remember that, but I have the Muhammad Ali. I have a Muhammad Ali and Superman team up giant comic book.
Dang.
I also have a giant Howard the Duck comic book.
Howard the Duck.
Shit. That's dope.
He made a cameo in one of the Avengers movies, did he not?
Twice.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Both 1 and 2.
Well, yeah, but was it both? Was it both of them?
Yeah,
yeah, it was both.
Yeah, and 2 he was at the.
He's a collector, and he was released.
Yeah,
and he was in the
bar, that weird
right.
space bar.
Yeah, where the Ravagers were.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then he had his own movie way back in the 80s.
Yeah,
totally. That was terrible.
My girlfriend loves that movie. By the way,
that movie's something.
Isn't
else.
that a George Lucas joint?
I think it was.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that was one of them. But yeah,